Here's how I knew my husband was the one for me. Before I met my husband.
Hey friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for clicking. Kindly subscribe to this beautiful channel. So in today's video, we'll be talking about how women knew their husband was the one. If you ever wondered what signs tell you a man is truly a husband material, or if you're in a relationship and questioning whether he's the right one for you, then keep watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So I put the videos together so that you watch and then I'll be back to share my true sense.
Here's how I knew my husband was the one for me. Before I met my husband, when I had prayed to the Lord, the next man that he would bring into my life would be my husband, because I had gone through some weird situationships that was not it, and I just didn't want to go through that again. And so when I met my husband, I literally went back to the Lord. I prayed one of the most dangerous prayers, and that was, Lord, if he's not supposed to be in my life, remove him. Well, he didn't remove him. So I was like, okay, this man's still in my life, but I still haven't gotten a clear confirmation. So I went back to God and said, Lord, if this is the person that you've sent for me, let him make his intentions clear. And literally, I kid you not, maybe a week later, he like messages me and says, hey, I want to just talk to you. And if you know my story, me and my husband moved really quickly when we were dating. And so he says to me, hey, I just want to let you know that I really like you. I really feel like we can do this together. I actually see marriage with you. And I felt like that was God's confirmation to me. But then we end up going through a season of just hardship. We were just really going through it, in our relationship. And I remember going to God and said, God, I know you've confirmed to me a few times that, this is my husband, but right now I don't think that we're going to make it in this relationship. Can you just show me one more time just to confirm that this is the relationship? And I remember going to bed and I had a dream that at the dream me and my husband were at, well, my boyfriend at the time, but my husband now, were at our marriage ceremony, and we had knelt down in front of a pastor that we both know. And he had laid his hands on us and prayed. And I thought, when I woke up from the dream, I thought it was very interesting because I wasn't going to that church at the time. So I was like, how is this pastor going to be praying over us? So anyways, I woke up and I just really did feel like that was God's confirmation that we were going to make it to the altar. Fast forward, we end up getting engaged. So we clearly figure things out. And it's our wedding day, and that pastor ends up actually coming to our wedding. While everything is going on, he says he wants to pray over us. And so we kneel before him and he lays his hand over us. And that was the exact image that I seen in my dream when I asked God to confirm if my husband was the one.
Okay, finish my hair with me as I tell you the story of how I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that my husband was sent by God to be my husband. I've gotten this question many times and I love telling the story because it's such a simple story. So we're just finishing this up. Normally I would be doing a wash and go at this point in the week, but I don't have any product and I have to do my hair to leave the house to get product. So here we are. Okay, so after I had gotten out of a on again, off again situationship, which if you know, you know, probably for about the third time I was getting out of it, I was like, okay, all right, Lord, I get it. Like, this is not happening. This is not the person I'm marrying. I get it. So I said, if you don't show me clearly that somebody else is my husband, then I will be waiting for this other person forever. So I said, God, when you send me my husband, I want him to say these three things. I said, I want him to know immediately that I'm his wife. I want him to see me and know that I'm his wife. I said, I want him to see me and say, whoa. That was the word. I said, whoa. And the third one I'm not actually gonna share. Fast forward 2 years, when I met my husband at a sound check that he wasn't actually even supposed to be at. And he was introduced kind of in passing to us, but then he later found me on Facebook after searching for me. He found me and I was at a, like, I didn't believe in dating really. I just never liked the idea of going out with someone that I didn't know and getting to know them in that setting. That's just, I've never been a fan of that idea. However, I don't know, something just moved me to do it. I think plans had gotten canceled for me, and I was like, okay, well, I've talked to Mark a few times at this point, and I was like, okay, let me just see if Mark is free, because I really wanted to go out. And so I did, and he said yes. So we sat down, I swear, maybe 10 minutes into conversation, he says, yeah, when I first saw you, I said, whoa. And immediately I was like, okay. I, in my head, was like, oh wow, okay. And I didn't know this man. I did not know him, and it didn't seem like he was really my type. I went on, we started dating a little bit, but then he moved. I remember saying to somebody, I can't count Mark out. Like, I cannot count him out, even though, I don't know, it seemed like it was over, like I wasn't really gonna see him again. I knew that I couldn't count him out. And it wasn't until a bit later that he said, the night I saw you, I went home and I told my brother that I had met my wife. And that was it for me. That was like, okay, I'm sure this is it. I'm sure this is it. And then later he said the third thing as well. So I got all of the confirmation that I asked for and all the confirmation that I needed. So yeah, if you want to know, you want to be sure, ask the Lord to send you a sign. He'll do it. Later, I doubted that it was God, even though it was very, very much so God, obviously. But because it went so badly, I was like, okay, this could not have been what God had intended, but it wasn't. That's the thing, is because we stepped out of God's will. We did not do things the right way, and you cannot expect for things to go the way that God intends when you step out of his will. So yeah, that's the story. Now, I have to figure out what I'm gonna do with the back of my head, because it's looking rough. It's looking mighty dry. Let's see. Oh, that's not bad. Oh, yeah, that works. Okay, I actually decided to put them in like pigtails, which I think is super cute. All right, this is the finished look. Okay, bye.
So this is in regards to the video that went viral of me saying I'm going to marry that man and how I knew my husband was my husband very early on. Let's rewind. July 2022, I had just gotten out of a relationship about a month and a half prior, and so I was not looking for a relationship. I had seen Caleb, his name is Caleb, multiple times throughout Dallas, and it was weird that I kept seeing him because I'd never seen him before, and I had already lived in Dallas for about a year and a half. I saw him at a pool party, and I asked a friend about him. I was like, who the freak is that? She said, that's Caleb, but don't even try. He's moving in 2 weeks. He's younger than you, and every girl wants him. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to try. Anyway, I go to stalk on Instagram, and turns out he was already following me and had been DMing me for about a year and a half. Super crazy. So I finally stalked him, stalked everything, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to follow him back, but I'm not going to initiate anything first. And finally, we saw each other one more time, and he was like, you know what, this is my final time. I'm going to shoot my shot. I'm about to move in 2 weeks. I got nothing to lose. So he DMs me. He asked me out on a date, and I was like, you know what, I also have nothing to lose. Let's send it. He picks me up from my house on the first date. I didn't think this was weird because we had a ton of friends in common. I knew he wasn't a weirdo or a creeper or anything like that. Picks me up, and I was so nervous on the first date. And I don't normally get super nervous on first dates. I mean, I was in the car, I was stroking my hair like this, and he literally was like, are you okay? And I was like, I'm fine. I literally lied, and I was like, I don't get nervous. Anyway, on the first date, I knew something was different. And I know that video said third date, but the third date is when I finally said it out loud. But on the first date, I already knew, literally looking out in the car ride, like looking at him, I mean, our conversation, our banter, I was like, I know this is my husband. Now, it's not to say that it didn't come with any challenges because we are actually 4 years apart. I'm 4 years older than him, so that definitely came with some things we had to overcome. But I knew that there was something different about him, and the Lord confirmed it to me over and over and over and over in the dating process. So no, I didn't manifest this relationship. I prayed, I waited on the Lord, and I asked God to show me if this was a man worth marrying, and God showed me yes. And he treated me so different than any other man. He played no games. He was clear. He was intentional. He just treated me with such kindness and patience. I could go on and on and on. And on top of that, we just had so much fun together. I was literally obsessed, and I still am. So 11 months later, we got engaged, and then we got married 6 months after getting engaged. And now we've been married for about 2.5 months. And I know this sounds crazy to people, but when God is in it, when you're both surrendered to the Lord and you are committed to serving each other and serving God, these relationships can work and can last. And 6 weeks after he moved away, he moved back to date me. Ladies, if he wanted to, he would. And he stood out to me because he didn't play any games. And even though he's younger than me, he acts more mature than most guys my age. And that's our story.
So that's a video, guys. So I'm just here to share my true sense, like what I think about today's video. Okay. So number one thing that I want to talk about is the instant connection. Some women say they just knew from the very first moment. It wasn't about looks or money, but an instant emotional connection that made them feel like they had known in this man forever. One woman shared that she felt completely at ease on their first date, like she could be her authentic self. If a man makes you safe and understood from the start, that's a strong sign. Another number is he showed up consistently. For many women, it wasn't a signal magical moment. It was about consistency. He called when he said he would follow through on his promises and made her feel secure. A lot of men can say the right things, but action always speak louder. If a man is showing up for your time and time again, it's a big green flag. He supported her dreams. A huge moment for a woman or a lot of women was realizing their partner genuinely cared about their goals, whether it was a career, ambition, a passion, a project, or a personal growth. A great husband wants to see his woman win. If your man encourages you to celebrate your success and pushes you to do better without failing or without feeling threatened, that's a husband trait right there. The hard times brought them to close. Okay, love is not just about the good times. Some women realize their partner was the one when they faced challenges together. Maybe it was financial struggle, a family crisis, or even just an argument that showed them how he handled conflict. A true life partner doesn't run at the first sight of trouble. He works through it with you. She could imagine life without him. That's another one. And finally, one of the biggest signs she couldn't imagine her life without him. It wasn't about dependency, but how much better life felt with him in it. If you feel at peace with someone and you can see yourself growing old together, that's a powerful sign he's the one. So, ladies, how did you know your husband was the one? Okay, and so let me tell you my story. So I and my husband met online. Okay, so we talked. The very first day we talked, I felt like there was much connection because we talked for hours. Like we talked and talked. And imagine, let me tell you one thing. The craziest thing is that this person didn't know how to speak English, and we were talking using a translator. Okay, so there was effort. All right, I had to make an effort, and this person never had like the socials which I was using a different social which I never had on my phone, but I had to make sure I download and we talk. So we kept on talking, and me I saw okay, for me, my side, I think we're just talking. We're just talking. I don't know where it's going. I didn't expect much. Yeah. So later, I saw that this person was kind of serious because he started introducing me to his family members slowly by slowly, and we talked of me being his girlfriend, and I become the one. We talked. So the way he was talking, because this is the person who talks with actions. So I would see good qualities there. Okay, I was marking because guess what? Your girl had written all the qualities I was looking for. So I won't lie to you, I didn't like tick everything, but the important ones I ticked. And for me, like I was like, okay, he's a good person. So when we met, I didn't expect much. Like I didn't know that we are going to get married or something. It was just a shock of my life that we it was happening. But anyway, it's not like I wasn't ready. I was ready for the one already. Okay. So yeah, that's how we got engaged and we got married, and we had a very beautiful wedding. So intentions. There we learn about intention. What are your intentions? All right, and make sure you know each other first before you start engaging yourself. Maybe getting married, you don't even know that this man is a good man or it's a bad man. So make sure you do your research. You know this person where he's coming from, where he stays, what type of a job they do, in his family members. Make sure you talk to the family members and do your own research. There is Facebook where you can check the profiles. There's LinkedIn where you see, okay, this person is genuine. Make sure you just do a little bit of background check. And also, if this person has a criminal cases, if you guys are coming from long distance, especially those who do long distance relationship, because you may be shocked that this person has a lot of debt. Yeah. So you have to do that before you get married. All right. Yeah. So those who are planning to get married in 2025, ladies, please note down the qualities you're looking for. Are you looking for a good fairy man? Are you looking for a kind man? Are you looking for a caring man? Loving, okay, supporting man. So you need to write it down the qualities you're looking for. All right. And please don't go for someone because this is a person who's available. If you feel like you don't love a person, don't go for them, because I tell you, marriage is a long um time thing. Okay, when you say I do, meaning you're going to die with this person. You're not going to be with another person unless God forbid you want divorce, you want to leave your husband, you know. So when you're choosing someone, make sure you like them, because in marriage at a certain point you feel like you don't like this person anymore. So you're going to use, so this is why in marriage we have friendship, we have partnership, we have teamwork, all these things. So when you feel like, okay, I'm getting out of the years, I need my own space, you start using the friendship. Okay. Yeah. So make sure you create the friendship. Being good is nice. Being kind to one another is very nice. As you get this thing together, make sure you understand each other. I know you can't understand each other completely because these are two people who are coming in one house, especially if you're in an interracial marriage like me. It's very difficult to handle. Yeah, because you come from a different culture and your partner comes from a different culture. He believes in certain things which you don't, and he was his he has his own things of doing. Yeah. So sometimes you just have to compromise and sit down and talk. Okay, we can agree on this one. We're going to do on this one. So it takes a lot of effort. I think what I've learned since I got married, you need to put effort. Okay, because without effort, I tell you, like it won't work. So you need to put effort. I know a lot of men, they don't know how to love. They don't know how to love. They know love is money, but love is not money. You know, sometimes women just need their attention. All right. So there's this one person, because I do some advice on women and all that, told me that when the husband just comes, he eats and sleep. When they just try to have a little bit chat, he say, I'm tired, I was working, but yeah, we understand that you're working. We understand, but just create a little bit time just for talking. There's nothing wrong of asking how work was. There's nothing wrong of me wanting to be around you, all over you. All right. Yeah, because you just want to talk to your person. This is your person. You want to know how he's doing, because yeah, you need to know. You're responsible for that, for your husband's mental healthy. You need to keep checking, and you need also to check up on you, and you just have to be a loving family, live together. I know marriage is not perfect, but it has its own ups and downs, but we can do better. If you feel like you've done something wrong, learn to say sorry. Okay, learn to say sorry and move on. Okay, move on and do better next time. This is how people live. So you guys, that's a video for today. I don't know what you think about today's video. I just want to know. All right. How did you know that your man was the one? How did you know? So thank you so much guys for watching. I'll see you in my next episode. Bye bye for now.